World Series. And I was like, this is historic. It's like once in a several lifetime event.
Yes, it is. With the Cubs in it.
But
you're a Cardinals fan.
But I have a lot of friends who happen to be Cubs fans.
Okay.
And I made some phone calls, and I sent some very cryptic texts to some friends. If you're not doing anything Saturday, you might want to find yourself in Chicago. And my friend was like, let me be very clear. What are specifically are you asking me? Like, do you want to go to the World Series? He's like, yes, I do. I was like, okay. So I was able to take some friends of mine who are longtime Chicago fans. Now, that said, I am not a Chicago fan.
Very much not.
And I don't particularly care to be a Chicago fan.
No.
So I flew my flag, as it were, and I think it did not go over well with a lot of Chicagoans. But the greatest interaction I had was Sunday, Game 5, and I went by myself. I had given my other I had 3 tickets, and I gave my other 2 tickets to a friend of mine from Chicago and her friend. I was like, you guys can go. You take the good seats. I'll sit in the obstructed view, 1909 Wrigley behind the thing. And I did, and it was great. But as I'm walking down the aisle, excuse me, sorry, excuse me. I finally sit down, and the guy in front of me turns around and goes, great. I went, hi. He goes, it's you. I went, yeah, why? He goes, I just hate that hat.
And you were in a Cardinals hat.
I was like, well, I'm sorry.
Amazing.
I go, well, can you? Would you wear a Cardinal hat if you were in my position? He goes, no way. I went, right. So what do you expect me to do? He goes, I guess you're right. All right. And then he turned around and he didn't talk to me for the rest of the game. Okay. I sat next to a really nice guy who coached SEC baseball. So we talked all about baseball.
So you didn't, for a split second, think, okay.
I thought the guy was going to start, whatever.
Well, no, but not that. But just understanding that if it was the shoe on the other foot, I know as a Cardinal fan, it's difficult to not think of winning once every, say, 4 years, all of them. Okay, I understand there's many yachts that you water ski behind as a baseball fan. But if the shoe's on the other foot, Jon Hamm, if you had 100 years of issues winning and your hated rival were the Cubs and you're sitting there and
listen,
in the new Bush and they're coming in with a Cubs hat, you wouldn't have a problem.
I'm not affecting anybody's play. You got to win the game. And they did. And I was pleased. It was a great night.
You were pleased.
I was, absolutely.
Okay.
I was saying,
you were not hate rooting for them?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't hate root at all.
Okay.
Life's too short. I'm a fan of like a good game. I just want it to be good. And like the rest of America, that Game 7 was
ridiculous,
unbelievable. I mean, it was literally, if it was in a movie, people say this all the time, if it was in a movie, you would think that doesn't work. But that's actually what you would be like, a rain delay? A 20-minute rain delay? Yeah, right. That doesn't happen.
After a game-tying 3-run homer?
Yeah.
Right. After a two-run wild pitch, got the home team back in the
against
game?
a catcher who never, a guy who never really throws wild pitches and a catcher who never lets them by.
And then that catcher in his last game of his career hits the home run? I mean, it really is crazy.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.